Well, welcome again to Thursday morning. We've got a lot packed again today as we usually do, although we'll see, we might keep it a little bit shorter than usual because I know that I'm like, oh, we'll get through it, and just time flies and we take up a lot of time. So we might finally stick to the one topic that we want to talk about and not go over to respect your time as well as busy print shops.
So right out of the
So
gate, you said something that you're not going to be able to say next time. You said, welcome
that
to
is
Thursday morning. And the reason is,
true. We are going to be moving our webinar starting next Thursday to a different time slot. So instead of our regular 10:05 Central, we're going to have it at 2:05 Central. So let me back up, 12:05 Pacific, 1:05 Mountain, 2:05 Central, and 3:05 p.m. Eastern Time. That is starting next Thursday. The same webinar, just move it up about 3 hours or so.
yeah, it'd be boring if we kept things the same all the time. So time to shake it up a bit, give you a few hours of shift of time here. So
Here we go. And we'll have an email update. We'll update the webinar accordingly so that that will be reflected as well. So now that we got that out of the way, one quick note here. Again, in the Control Center, View Weekly Webinar Tutorials is above the Help Center tab here in the Control Center. If you click that, you will see a link or a website to all our past webinars. You'll also be able to sign up for the current webinar, and this will be updated for next Thursday. So when you sign up, if you happen to sign up later today, that should be updated to reflect the new time. So all the previous episodes are listed here. If you missed one or you want to make sure you go over something that captures your attention, feel free. And last week, we are continuing in the Web Pages tab.
one quick
Yes.
note, it might also be worth
Mhm.
mentioning that if you are already registered, as those of you watching live obviously are, but if you're watching the recording, if you are already registered, you don't need to worry about that time shift other than to remember it up here. If you are already registered, you do not need to re-register, just coming along for the ride.
Thank you, Dave. I'm glad you mentioned that to those that are already registered. We have been going over the different tabs of the Control Center. We're diving deep into particular tabs and topics now. We've gone over homepage, services, featured pages, custom pages, and what we're going to drill down today is the Help Center tab. Excuse me. And so when we get in the Help Center tab, there are two tabs, Customize FAQs and Terms and Conditions. And the first one that you can see that I'm hovering or selected on is called Customize FAQs. It's just that these are the frequently asked questions. You as a print shop admin, you can go ahead and edit the various categories, and I'm going to just go into account info and select the blue edit tab. And in here, there is additional, I would call them subcategories. These are already pre-filled in for you. Everything is good to go, would you say, if someone was to go to, and I'll show you in a minute, the Help Center tab on your website. However, if you would like, you can actually go in, you could remove a subcategory or subtopic if you want. You can change the order of the subcategories. You can actually edit the subcategories. For instance, this one, what if one of your print buyers forgets their password? If you click edit, it's already set up where it can link to what needs to be linked here. If for any reason you want to change the format to bold, italicize, if you want to add additional verbiage to each of these subcategories, you may do so and select save. If you want to change the title of a question, instead of what can I do if I forgot my password, if you want to change up the question title, you may do that as well. I'm going to cancel that. If you click remove, see what it does. I know it usually gives a pop-up if you want to have it removed. Maybe, oh, there we go. So I did remove those. Now they do show up, I believe, in this list after you remove it for you to add back in. But for my purposes, you can see that there's one less line here. So now there's 4 lines. So if you want to, you can remove. Again, if you want to, what is the privacy policy? Maybe you feel that's very important to let your print buyers know right off the bat your privacy policy. You can, again, with the crosshairs on your mouse, move around the order of these subcategories. And I'm going to select close. So similar with each of these main categories, when you select edit, you're able to edit, remove, or change the order of those topics under those subcategories. Also, if you want to add whatever is in this drop-down list from another category, let's say under changes and cancellations, maybe you want to add a third line or a third subcategory, you can go through this list and look at the the different questions that are being asked and determine, well, maybe this fits under changes and cancellations. You would select that and select add. There's that third line added. So you can add other subcategories to this category if you want to change up what we provide for you. Again, I would say 99, if not 100% of what is available in the customized FAQs is set up for generically all print shops. It works well. It's set up that it's linked. If there's links, as an example in the account info, if I forgot my password, there's a link. This is valid for all print shops, so you don't have to go in there and change that if you don't want to. But we do have it set up so it's valid for anybody that has the Help Center and wants to adjust or look at the FAQs. So there's probably at least 30 of them, I would say, maybe a few more. Do what you want with them, but just letting you know that as a subscriber to the Help Center, you can edit the FAQs under the Customize FAQ tab.
So let me talk a little bit about being a subscriber to the Help Center, because actually, if you can pull that up on the print buyer facing side of the websites there, Trish.
Thank you. I meant to do this. There's a Help Center tab if you as a print shop are subscribed to the Help Center. So I meant to show that. There's a drop down where it shows, I'd say, a top 3 or so main categories, and then there's subcategories. Of course, your user could say view entire Help Center. And when they click on that, they get to the root of all the Help Center questions and the answers to them. So thank you for reminding me to show them that.
So here's the point that I wanted to make too, because as you're just looking at this page and you see just the depth of information, keep in mind that that is a huge, huge shortcut. Some of that information for you and us that can talk printer language, that might seem perhaps a little bit fluffy and unnecessary, but for your subscribers, or for your, let me say it differently, for your print buying customers that are coming to the website, that's some of that self-serve information. And certainly today more than ever, we're living in an online self-serve society. And that's a shortcut. If you think that, yeah, it'd be nice to put that on my website, let me start writing. Well, there you go. You got a couple weeks or months worth of writing where you could be selling printing. So this is a shortcut, an important shortcut for you. And just to go a little bit deeper on that, it's a shortcut. And keep in mind that that this is something that if you subscribe to the Help Center and someone else subscribes to the Help Center, you're kind of getting that same Help Center. And I want to kind of be careful on how I say that, because it's a shortcut and you absolutely can use that, but consider that the starting point. Go full circle to what Tricia is showing us here. Just like we say in so many parts of the website, what can you do to make this your own? How can you edit the content and truly make it so that it's telling your story, even through the Help Center? Remember that if it's different, it's not only your visitors, your human visitors that are going to notice, the robot visitors from Google are also going to notice, and that's what's going to make you stand apart even more and give you a little extra nudge. Whew, I got a lot more out of that soapbox than I thought I was going to. Trish, get me stopping talking here again.
No problem. All right, so again, Help Center tab. Even if you are not subscribed to the Help Center add-on that we provide, all our users have the option to click on the Terms and Conditions tab here. If I was not subscribed to the Help Center, there'd be a little yellow box that would say something about, oh, not subscribed to Help Center, please inquire, reach out to us. There'd be like a yellow box, and these would not be showing. But the Terms and Conditions tab underneath is available to everybody. And right off the bat, I can see that I have not customized this, which is fine. This is what it would look like if you have not customized Terms and Conditions. We encourage you to go into the Terms and Conditions, read it, change it to tell your story. What do you provide? What do you supply? How do you run your business? Those sort of things. What are your terms? What are your conditions? Where it says site URL, if you want to keep the sentence welcome to, in place of site URL, please put your either company name or your website URL name. Again, this is our Acme Printing is kind of our default. We would encourage you to, again, go through and change these things that are default provided for the terms and conditions. You can always view this of what it looks like. And then, of course, when you are ready to save that, you would select save. You can always revert back to the original if you would like. But going through here, there's terms and conditions for ordering printing. It talks about payment. There's payment methods, a sales tax policy, a little bit blurb about artwork files. There's a blurb about shipping, a paragraph about if there's editing, deleting, or modification of the website, then the almighty miscellaneous. Section B, that's more general terms and conditions. So there's information that we put in again about copyright. We encourage you to look through this again because we want you to change it to how you want to provide this information. Talks a little bit about third parties, usage, email, and the entire agreement. So there's a lot of good information that we really encourage you to go through, change up to take out our default Acme or that generic site URL, put your company name, your site URL in there, and then if you feel that is how you would like that, I would encourage you to select save and then make sure that view is showing how you want that to view for your print buyers.
Just for what it's worth to, I'll also mention, you're exactly right. Change site URL, change the company name. If you are a new subscriber to the Help Center, we're not going to leave you hanging there. We're going to get you started by making those big picture customizations.
Thank you.
But this is exactly right. This is kind of, I don't know if I should use the word boilerplate, but kind of a boilerplate here. Pretty safe terms and conditions. Make it yours. Truly make it yours. And remember, just like Trish said, I want to repeat this one because this is a biggie. This one little nugget of the Help Center, terms and conditions, that's available for everybody, regardless of your subscription to the Help Center or not. This is an important page. Now, through confessions time, right before this webinar, Trish and I were prepping, and we were looking to for where this page shows up on a website that does not subscribe to the Help Center. And honestly, we did a little bit of this, did a little bit of head scratch and thinking, I think that page might have dropped off somewhere along the lines. So we've got a little homework to do. We're going to capture that and make sure that this page does indeed show up where you expect it to show up, even if you're not a Help Center subscriber. So we already got a to-do out of this webinar to do that, and we'll give you that update in a future webinar.
Yeah, we'll make sure to let you know the postmortem of what comes of terms and conditions, but still treat this as very important. And if you haven't been in there in a while, or if you haven't updated it, we still encourage you to update that because that might just show up where it needs to today or tomorrow. So we still encourage you to ensure that that is up to date with what you want it to say and show. All right. Other than customized FAQs and terms and conditions, looking at the time again, I think that's plenty to go over. I could easily spend another half hour navigation tabs, but as we know, we want to abide by your time, and that will probably be for next week's webinar. So Dave, unless we have anything else that we need to let our print buyers or print subscribers know about, I think we're going to sign off for today's webinar.
And just that last reminder, make sure to shift your time for the next week. It's the afternoon next week at, let's see if we can do the time conversion here. We practice this, 3:05 Eastern, 2:05 Central, 1:05 Mountain, and noon 05 Pacific.
Noon 05, you're right on. All right.
Give us 5 more seconds of your time, please. Trisha's going to shut down this webinar in a moment, so just give us a few more moments of your time. Give us the quick feedback on the survey right afterwards. If you want to take more time, you have that opportunity to give us more feedback, but all we need is 5 more seconds. That's all we got.
All right. Thank you all. Take care.